Hey guys, Bryan here again. I hope you enjoyed last week's video on some of the things to do when your athletes or yourself gets a little bit injured or dinged up. This week we're going to go over a couple different exercises on just some common things that we've seen over the last 16 years that people have issues with. So the first one's going to be with too much sitting. Obviously we sit way too much. If you're an adult, obviously you sit almost an average 8 hours a day at work. Even our kids nowadays are either playing video games, they're on their phone, they're sitting at school. And it's becoming a huge problem. Sitting is kind of the new smoking, so to speak. So when you sit, your hamstring actually becomes very short. Now the hamstring is the muscle in the back of your leg, and you need a very strong and flexible hamstring to be explosive, quick, and powerful. So what I'm going to do today is show you guys one little exercise to help lengthen those out. Now why is it important to have flexible hamstrings? Because every time you stand up and your hamstrings are tight, it actually rolls your pelvis back and flattens your low back out. So you should have a nice little curve in your low back, and when you have tight hamstrings, it makes it very flat. Now the curve is there so that when you fall or trip or anything else, your body acts like a spring or shock absorber, but when you straighten the spine out, you become like a stick. Sticks don't bend, they just break, and they cause damage. Also, when you straighten the spine out, you put all the pressure of your upper body weight on the discs, and it causes them to break down at a rapid rate. So over the last 16 years, we've seen disc herniations and extrusions go from like 55-year-olds all the way down to like 35-year-olds now. It keeps going younger and younger because we sit more and more. So I have Michelle here who's going to help us show you the simple hamstring stretch we're going to do. There's a million different ways to stretch your hamstrings. We're going to show you one. So I'm going to have her face that way so you can see her from the side. She's going to keep her legs nice and straight, and all she's going to do is just bend forward like she's touching her toes, okay? Now notice how when she bends forward, she's not trying to force herself down there. She's allowing gravity to use that. And she's keeping her legs nice and straight, okay? She's going to hold that position for about 30 seconds, and then she's going to come back up, shake her legs out, and then she's going to go straight back down again for another 30 seconds. She's going to do that 3 times in a row, okay? Now how often should you do this exercise? You should do it 3 times in a row, 3 times a day. So you do one in the morning, one at lunch, and one in the evening. You can do it more if you'd like, but at least that, okay? And if you're consistent with this, you'll have your palms on the floor in no time, okay? The other exercise that I want to show you combats a huge problem that we have in this country now, and that is everybody standing like this, okay? Because we do our texting on our phone, we're on our computers, we're reading, we're sitting, everything is all crunched forward. When we crunch forward like this, we smash our heart and our lungs, we don't get enough oxygen or blood to where we need to go. It also puts a lot of stress and pressure on your neck and back because you're forward all the time, okay? So we need to exercise some muscles to help pull things back and get you standing up straighter. So I'm gonna have Michelle turn around and face that way. These muscles right here are called your rhomboid muscles, and they are pretty much the weakest muscles in the human body because we never do anything with them because we're constantly in this position here, okay? So we're going to use an exercise that has 4 little letters to help strengthen those things up. So what Michelle is going to do is she's going to put her thumbs always pointed backwards, and she's going to make a tight Y above her head, okay? While she's doing that, she's going to squeeze her shoulder blades together like she's pinching my finger on her spine there. She's going to hold that position for 10 seconds. Then the next one's going to be W, so she's going to make a W with her arms, okay, while still squeezing those shoulder blades together as hard as she possibly can. Then the third one's going to be T, and she's going to put her arms straight out, still squeezing. About this point in time, your rhomboid muscles should be screaming and burning at you like crazy, okay? And the last one's going to be L, so you make a double L and try to touch your elbows behind your back and squeeze as hard as you can. Now you can relax, okay? That exercise is huge because it'll help pull things back, get your head back where it should be, okay? So that exercise took 40 seconds, all right? How often should we do it? You should do it once every hour that you're awake. I know that's not going to happen because we all live life and we get busy. But if we can do it 5, 6, 7, 8 times throughout the day, that would be fantastic. If you're doing the exercise correctly, you should be sore as heck the first couple of weeks because you've never used these muscles before, okay? So it's YWTL. You hold each letter 10 seconds. The main thing is you don't want to stick your head out while you're doing it. You want to keep your head back, and you want to pinch your shoulder blades together as hard as you possibly can. Now, for some of you moms out there that like to multitask, like I know you all do, while you're driving, you can do a similar exercise. You just grab the steering wheel at 9 and 3, make sure your head's touching the headrest, and just pull your shoulder blades back as hard as you can for 10 seconds. Relax for a second and go back and do the exact same thing 3 times in a row. Not the same exercise, but you get the gist. If you do it while you're driving, you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So there you have it, the hamstring stretch, the YWTL exercise, 2 of the most important exercises you'll do. Please do them yourself. Please do them with your kids as well, with your athletes, so we can keep them strong and flexible. And hope you like these videos. Make sure you leave a comment for us if you have a question, or just call the office. And I will see you next week with some more hot tips.